as the cold blizzard snows batter the flanks of the orcs walking upon the rickety platform dug into the flank of the Death Gorge. Their leader, Daggok, is sure in his purpose. Beasts in Umi disguises have been sighted wandering the deepest parts of the gorge, and now he wants to find them and eat their brains to gain the knowledge of how exactly a beast and a human hybrid can fight and just simply exist. As the thought of delicious and smart powering brains linger in his already magnificent mind, down below, roars can be heard, along with screams. It sounds like the bestial humans are on the hunt, and some unfortunate gits Daggok threw down the gorge, who didn't die upon impacting the hard ice floor, are the target of their newfound wrath. Daggok breathes in and sighs as he descends into Warhammer Underworlds' Death Gorge. In today's game, we'll be playing a Rivals format game of Warhammer Underworlds. This is a really fun format of Warhammer Underworlds and great for beginners getting into the game. What this format does is it allows you to play with set pre-built decks. This can either be the Rivals format deck that you'll get with a warband, such as Daggok Stab-Ladz have their own Rivals deck that they come with, but you can also use other Rivals decks as well, as there's a variety of different Rivals decks that can be used by all warbands in the game, and even the older warbands from seasons in which did not include a Rivals format setting. In today's game, I'm going to be playing with Daggok Stab-Ladz, who are making their debut on the channel. Daggok Stab-Ladz are led by none other than Daggok Finkstealer. He has 4 wounds, nice 3 movement and defense 1 shield. He's got a couple of good attacks as well with his cruel culinary action, allowing him to actually attack if friends come nearby the enemies he's fighting. Now, he inspires by dealing damage to a second or subsequent fighter in the same phase, and he's joined by 3 of his bestest auric buddies, Herc the Howler, Jags the Bleeder, and Grak the Hook. Now, these all inspire in various different ways, with Herc the Howler making a inspire if he supports any friendly successful attack action. You have Jags the Bleeder, an enemy fighter with 1 or more wounds counter is dealt damage and taken out by them, and Grak the Hook does it if he makes the snag reaction. While inspired, a wound gets put onto the Finkstealer inspired, and you generally get a little bit of extra movement, and you also get some extra damage across a variety of different weapons, making you both faster and more brutal as you inspire with the warband. Daggok's Stab-Ladz do have a plot of their own. When you're using the Stab-Ladz, you have to declare that you're using them and show this plot to your opponent. Schemes are these particular type of gambits you effectively can play like Yu-Gi-Oh! Trap cards almost. And depending on how many of these you complete over the course of the game, there'll be various objectives within the deck that you can score because of this. And today we are going to be playing, as you would guess by the plot, with Daggok Stab-Ladz Rivals deck. We have the entire list of objective and power cards here on the screen now for you to have a look at. Stephen today will be playing with the Gnarlspirit pack. Now, they have a really interesting ability, which you can find on Girl Spinehammer's card, that essentially allows you to put spirit counters on each of the fighters as you activate them or take them off. Now, if you ever remove any spirit counters, you will inspire the fighters, and generally when they've got spirit counters on them, they get a variety of different abilities, from extra movement, extra damage, and some extra attacks and stuff like that, which is really, really cool. And of course, as mentioned, you can take them off and then inspire. Now, while inspired, these models cannot gain any of the spirit counters, and if they ever do gain any of the spirit counters, they actually will uninspire and turn back into their Savage Beast mode. There's a variety of different cards within the deck that will work depending on whether you're inspired or a beast, so it's really interesting to sort of play around with the 2 parts of the deck and the fighters and how they work. In today's game, we'll be using the Gnarlspirit pack Rivals deck, and we've got all the objective and power cards listed here on the screen for you to have a look at. And so, we are all deployed on the table. So, I've got Daggok Finkstealer here with Grak the Hook behind him. We've got Herc the Howler and Jags the Bleeder over here. Meanwhile, you've got Crimson Kira, you've got the big guy or girl Spinehammer, you've got Sarkar Blackwing, and then you've also got Lupin Longcut there as well. So, got priority for turn 1. Today's video is sponsored by Gap Games, a fantastic miniature wargaming store in Queensland, Australia. They stock a wide variety of miniature wargames from all things Games Workshop to some of my personal favourites, Conquest of the Last Argument of Kings, and all things Modifius wargames as well. Use our affiliate code in the link below to help support both this fantastic store and the channel as well. Right, round one. This is for Daggok's Stab-Ladz. I got nothing. We're still thinking. And you got all the supports there, so you will get the choice of who goes first. And so, first activation is going to go to Daggok, Finkstealer, and Daggok crew. And so, first action, I'm just going to go a move with Herc de Howler. Now, here's a cool thing called the Roar of Kragnos. This is a reaction for him. And what this does is, every time he makes an action that's not a super action, so not a charge, he gives a raw counter to himself, so he'll gain one raw counter. What this does mean is raw counters, each time he has one of them, he can have supports enemy fighters within 2 hexes rather than just 1. I'm then going to play the card Cruel Teamwork at the end. I can choose 2 friendly fighters and I can push each one of them 1 hex. So I'm going to choose him to push there, and I'm going to choose Daggok to push there, which both brings them in range of support from him. Alright, you're then going to play Spurred Onwards. You get +1 move to the next friendly fighter to make a move action in the round. +2 move instead if that fighter is a beast or one or more other surviving friendly fighters are not beasts. And then your first range 1 attack action made by a friendly fighter in the next activation has Grievous 1 or +1 damage if that fighter is a beast or one or more other surviving friendly fighters are not beasts. So after that, Gnarlspirit Spinehammer is going to do a super action now right into Daggok Finkstealer. So, go for your attack. Alright, so Spinehammer needs hammers here. Got nothing. That is good for me, because I do not like what you were trying to do there. Alrighty, so after that, I'm then going to go with Jags the Bleeder next. We will go with a charge super action with him. Just going to go 1, 2, 3. Make a charge into Gnarlspirit Spinehammer. Alright, so how this is going to work. First of all, I resolve the move with my charge. Now, Daggok has a reaction here. After another friendly fighter's move action, which is now complete, he then gets to make an attack action with the Cruel Skewer immediately. This attack cannot be modified in any way, so I get 1 dice with this. I need cross swords, which I get. So you've got to defend this with Gnarlspirit Spinehammer.
Yep. He's got
now, Gnarl is currently a beast because you did put one of the tokens on him, so he will get 2 defense, so he needs a success here, which a shield will do. So now I'm going to attack the Bleeder, who is supported by Daggok, but also supported by Herc de Howler, because his Howl put him within 2. So we have 3 dice, and that is a crit and 2 supports. So your 2 dice, you essentially need to get lots of crits. Which you don't, so that'll see me get through 2 points of damage thanks to Grievous 1. Yep, so Lupin Longcut's then going to make a charge super action because he has some extra move, and he also will get double supports counting as successes now because of his spirit token. You're going into Herc de Howler, so go for your attack. And so you're using your Silent Knife for 3 dice. You need cross swords when you use the Silent Knife. Which he got 2.
All of them.
Yeah, all of them, yeah. So I essentially need a crit now to get through, which I get. Cool. I'm then going to go back with Herc de Howler, who will just make a swing. So I need hammers with this. Now, Herc is also inspired as well because he inspired when he made a successful attack action. So we have 3 dice needing hammers, and I'll get 1. Just a single 1 on Lupin. That is it. Yep, and you need dodges. No. So that will be...
No, that still counts?
Oh yeah, that'll count thanks to your spirit token. Yes, it will. Lucky there. But I will get the reaction. I will put another raw counter on my dude, which will be my 3rd reaction for the round. And so immediately after that 3rd reaction, I'll score this after my 3rd or successive reaction in the same phase, Deceptively Cunning. So Crimson Kira is then going to go with a charge super action into Jags the Bleeder. So she's going to make an attack. Alright, so she's gone with her Berserk Assault attack. This has the potential for Grievous. So first of all, we need cross swords with her. Getting none of these would be great. You got a crit
and a support.
So can I stop your crit at least? No. Damage on that.
Damage 1, Grievous 1.
So I'll take 2 wounds on Jags the Bleeder. So you're going to go Self-Command after your activation. This allows you to remove a friendly fighter's spirit counter and give them a guard token. Whose are you removing? Removing Gorl Spine Hammers. So that removes and will also mean he inspires. And then he'll obviously get a guard counter as well. I'm then going to go with Daggok. He's making a charge. Now, he's moved in, so this means the Cruel Cunning reaction activates from Daggok Finkstealer, which won't get anything this time. And just of note, that is my 4th attack, but we will go again because now we have Daggok attack him for his charge. He will get a crit there on Gorl Spinehammer, who has 1, essentially needs a crit now to stop. No, that will not do anything, so there'll be 2 more points of damage on Gorl, which will take him out. Now, I will not only get the point for killing Gorl, but I'll also get Deceptively Brutal, where I score this immediately after your Warband's 4th of successive attack action in the same phase. And funnily enough, it has Daggok as the card picture. So your last action is Sarkar doing a charge down to here. When he's a beast, as you put Spirit Token on him, he essentially grows wings, hence the name Sarkar Blackwing. So he's moved down here. You will get supports with this.
2 attacks.
So 2 attacks. You will succeed on the supports. So I've just got the 1 defense on me, and I don't get it. So damage on Sarkar.
2.
I take 2 wounds on Rook. And so, end phase, as neither of us have any cards to play, I'm going to score with Storied Stabbin'. I score this in the end phase if the number of friendly fighters out of action is lower than the round number. It's 0, so that's lower than 1. And then I also need to have the number of enemy fighters out of action is equal to or greater than the round number. I've killed one of you, which means that equals 1, so I'm going to score 2 points for that. Stephen will then score Rapid Rage, score this in the end phase if each surviving friendly fighter is in enemy territory for a point. And so we are priority for turn 2. I got a crit with 3 supports, so you need to get multiple crits, essentially, and none of them. So I'm going to get the first action. Alright, so I'm going to start with Daggok doing a charge. So he's going to attack Crimson Kira there. I am supported, so I will get a crit. So you will need essentially a crit to stop me. That's what I got. Nope. That will be 2 points of damage, and now, because Crimson Kira doesn't die, I get to use the reaction, which is Snag. I can push the target 1 hex as well. Going to push you there, just to force you to have to do a charge if you want to hit back. Grak will then inspire, because he used that as well, so he'll inspire. That essentially means his reaction now allows me to push you 2 hexes with his attack. Okay. Your first action?
Removing that from Crimson. Crimson's
going to inspire.
Inspiring.
And she's obviously making a charge back in, I guess.
Yep.
With her scything attack, I'm assuming this time.
The only one she's got this time.
Yep. So who is she? Well, first of all, sorry, she loses scything when she's inspired. So who's she attacking this? Jags the Bleeder has 2 wounds on him. He's at full health with 4 wounds, so
I'm going.
Yep, so you're going to go on the wounded Jags the Bleeder. So you need cross swords with Crimson Kira. That'll be a crit and a hit. So I
Grievous 1.
I essentially want to stop the crit. I do not. The damage I take from that is going to be 2, which will take out Jags to Bleeder. And so you're going to be playing an upgrade next, which is going to be a Trophy of Strength. You can give +1 damage to the fighter's range 1 and range 2 attack actions. Who is this going on?
It's going on Long Cut.
Lupin Longcut's going to take it?
Yep.
Alrighty, so after that, I've then got my action. I am going to go with this. So I'm going to go with Sneaky Git as an upgrade as well. That's going to go on Herc and Spied. So for a point there. And then we are going to go with a charge. Herc is going to charge. Now this means I don't get to blow the horn when I charge. I know that. But he's going to attack in there. So Herc has 3 dice. He will be supported with this. That will do 2 hits. Hammers are successful.
Need shield.
You need shield. You have nope. So that will deal 2 damage to Crimson Kira and take her out as well. I will then do the cool thing this warband can do and place a trap card face down and end my turn. Alright, so all the Yu-Gi-Oh! References aside, essentially I can reveal these next turn. These are schemes that will allow me to collect victory points upon completing them and give me various effects during the game. They're essentially my dirty, underhanded tactics that I'm trying to do during the game. Alright, so you're going to go with Lupin Longcut.
Charging?
Yep, he's charging, removes his token, becomes inspired. Now you've done the move part of your charge, so I am going to play an actual trap card. Now, I can play this as a reaction after an enemy fighter's move action. That lands them adjacent to one or more friendly fighters. I now roll a magic dice. On each lightning bolt, deal 1 damage to them. So, rolling a magic dice, nothing. Unfortunately, my trap card does not work. You've activated my trap card, but unfortunately you have the trap jammer. And so 3 attacks with Lupin Longcut. First of all, let's see whether you hit. That'll be the important part. Got a crit. Crit and...
That's all.
That's all. So I do not stop it. Damage.
3.
And plus your Grievous, which will take out Herc Inspired as well. So you will then score Worthy Deed for a point because you score this immediately after a friendly fighter's attack action takes an enemy fighter out of action and they had more wounds than the fighter. Or they had more upgrades. Both of... no, because you had an upgrade, but I am 4 wounds, you're 3, so you do score it. Alrighty, I'll then flip this up out Finkum. It's a plot card, so we'll see if that activates during the turn. I'm then going to go with a charge with Daggok here into Lupin. So Daggok has 2 attacks with the boss sticker. He needs hammers. No, gets nothing. So that will be a fail there. And I'm going to go with Stacking the Odds. I can draw an objective card and put 1 objective card from my hand on the bottom of my objective deck. Or I can put 2 power cards from your hand on the bottom of your power deck, then draw 2 power cards. So I'm going to do the objective. And so I've drawn my new objective, put 1 underneath. So do you have any power cards you wish to play?
No.
No? We'll go into your 3rd activation for the round. Sarikar will make a charge over to here. Obviously going to attack Daggok Think Stealer there. So go for it. So Sarikar is going to use Raptor Bolt now. He's inspired thanks to removing those beast tokens. So go for it. Got 1. Now, does he have cleave naturally or does he need a crit for it?
It just says cleave.
Yep, I don't even get the support, so nope. Damage.
2.
So after that, I'm then going to play a card called Keen Thinker as my 4th action. This is going to go on Daggok himself. So I can discard a power card to draw 2 power cards after this, but I don't have any actions to do. So...
My turn?
No, my action for the round is actually going to be a draw of a card. So I'm going to just draw a power card. And what that means is I've now drawn my 2nd or subsequent card this turn, other than by... So I'm going to do this. I'm going to put Keen Thinker, and this is going to go on Grak Inspired. It's going to allow me to potentially draw some cards here. Now I am then going to go with an attack, and we are going to go with... Who are we going to go with? So I'm going to attack back at Sarikar with the boss sticker. I'm going to crit and a hit as well on top of that. So, He dodges. Nope, that will not get enough. So it'll be 2 points of damage on Sarkar Blackwing, please. So that will be my actions done for round 2. So your last action for the round.
I have an attack.
Yep.
I'm adding a token to Longa.
Yep. Which means he uninspires. Yep. And obviously going into Daggok, Fink Stealer.
Yep. And he's got 3 attacks.
So go for it. That will be a crit.
That's all. The crit was all.
So I need a crit, and I do not get it. Damage.
3.
Wow, that'll take Daggok out. So do you have any cards to play?
Yes.
And so you are going to play in control. Play this only if there are any more friendly fighters that are not beasts. And you push each friendly beast up to 1 hex. So yeah, Longcut's going to get to move there because he's the beast now. Essentially, Sarkar telling him where to go. Now, because you played a power card, I can draw 2 power cards because of that, thanks to my ploy. And now, because I drew 2 cards, because of that, this can go underneath my plot. And so I actually will now score, because of that, Fink Stealer Triumph. This is going to score me 1 point, as I have 1 card underneath my plot. And then you're also going to put Raging Companion. This is going to be upgraded onto Sarkar to give them an extra little action. Today's video is sponsored by Baron of Dice, high quality, specially made tabletop wargaming dice, suitable for a wide variety of wargames from Conquest: The Last Argument of Kings, Marvel Crisis Protocol, and Infinity as well, among many, many others. Baron of Dice have dice just about suitable for any occasion you have. And so we roll off for turn 4. Turn 3, sorry. No, turn 4. I got a single crit. What do you get with the Gnarlspirit? You got nothing, so I'm going to get the round again. So I'm going to use my upgrade here, Keen Thinker. I can discard a power card, then draw 2 power cards. And so after drawing those cards, I'm then going to place 3 cards face down. And that will be... maybe not everything I'm doing. And you're going to place a card on Sarkar, which is Trophy of Vision. You get +1 wizard level, and the fighter has line of sight to each fighter. This does not change the fighter's distance from those. So, cool. I'm then going to play 2 upgrades here. So, first of all, I'm going to place Big Bully. This gives me +1 wound. I'm also going to do Death Proof, which gives me +1 defense while any of my warband schemes are persisting. And that'll be your turn, thank you.
Okay. Charging, because he's moving there.
Yep, Sarkar's going to make a charge and move there. So, go for it.
3 for Raptor Bolt.
Yep, going with Raptor Bolt, so...
Nothing.
Nothing. Cool, I will gladly take that. So that'll be my action next, unless you've got any cards to play. Alright, so nothing more to play, so I'm going to flip all my schemes up, so I've got Scare 'em. Play this and described as a plot card. In the turn in which this card is turned face up, each time your warband pushes an enemy fighter, you can push that fighter an additional hex. This one is in turn in which this card is turned face up, friendly fighters range 1 and 2 attacks, have Grievous 1. And then take that head, when this card is turned face up, choose an enemy fighter. If that fighter is in turn in which this is turned face up, +1 dice to friendly fighters' attack actions to target the chosen fighter. I'm going to choose Sarkar. You will be surprised to learn that we are going to do an attack into him because I don't have to move there because I have a 2-inch range. And so I have +1 dice in here, so we are needing hammers. Nothing. Ugh. Dang, that's annoying. So, your turn. Right, so you're just going to make a move with Loop and Longcut there. So you will be surprised to learn that I'm just going to go for another attack into Sarkar. And this time I get the crit, which means that's Grievous. I also have a success with that as well.
Do that.
And so defense roll, you need a crit in here. You don't have a crit in there. That'll be 3 points of damage. And so taking out Sarika will mean both of these schemes here are completed and go underneath my pile. Which means I will, funnily enough, score Da Plan Worked, where I score this immediately after I score my second or subsequent scheme under my War Plans plot card in the same phase. So Lupin Lonka is just going to attack me back. So go for it. That'll get a hit of some variety.
Hammer.
Pardon me with that at the end there. So I do have 2 defense dice because I still have one of my ploys persisting.
Wrong dice.
Oh yeah, wrong dice. Well, last time I did this, it worked out well. Nope, that'll give me nothing. So damage.
1.
1. Cool. Then Grak Inspired. We are going to go then with attacking Lupin Lonka. So we have 2 dice here now, which will be 2 hits. So you have your base defense. Crit, we'll see you survive. Now, I'm going to push you so that you can't do anything, which means I will then also score this. And essentially you can't do anything in your last turn. I will then, at the end of the game, score Legendary Cunning, because my plan worked. I score this in the end phase if I have 3 or more schemes under my plot card, which I do, for another 2 points. Bringing the game to a total of 9 to 5